Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are embarking on something incredibly special. We're going to completely decode the Cambridge syllabus, specifically diving deep into Module 5.1 on hardware and software firewalls for prevention. But we are doing it a little differently today. I want you to start thinking of yourself not just as a student, but as a symphony conductor. Yes, you heard me right, a conductor. When you sit down to write a Cambridge computer science or IT exam, whether you're tackling syllabus codes 0417, 0478, 2210, 9618, or 9626, you are orchestrating an argument. Each paragraph you write is an instrument, and they all need to play in perfect harmony. Today, we're going to examine the exact conceptual frameworks and strategies to show you precisely what examiners look for when they grade your understanding of network security perimeters, packet filtering, and traffic inspection. We're going to take the raw, chaotic noise of IT facts and turn them into a high-scoring masterpiece. Let's get right into it.
Think about this incredibly insightful quote directly from a senior examiner. They stated that the difference between a B and an A star often comes down to how well you understand firewalls for prevention. Now, to understand why this is so critical, I want to introduce you to two types of students. Let's call them Alex and Sam. Picture Alex. Alex is brilliant at memorization. In an exam, Alex overloads the paper with raw computer science facts. We're talking 4 pages of dense handwriting about stateful inspection and proxy servers, but absolutely zero analysis. It's just noise. Then there's Sam. Sam gets nervous, rushes through the paper, and completely misses the command word requirements. Sam will describe a firewall when the question explicitly asks to evaluate one. When the examiner gets their papers, it's just a sea of red pen marks. Flawed answers, missed opportunities, dropped grades. Mastering the technical mechanics of hardware and software firewalls and knowing exactly how to orchestrate your writing about them is literally the ultimate key to unlocking those top-tier A-star grades.
So here is our study plan, or should I say our sheet music for today. We're going to look at the grade gap and figure out exactly where Alex and Sam went wrong. Then we'll dive into the core principles of firewalls. From there, we'll introduce the incredible method mark strategy to ensure you're picking up points with every single sentence. After that, we'll cover some serious examiner warnings to keep you out of trouble. And we will finish up with advanced critical analysis.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, Core Firewall Principles. This is where we lay down the rhythm section of our symphony. Before you can evaluate complex network scenarios, you have to have the conceptual framework totally locked down. It requires a solid foundation in systematic analysis and evidence-based reasoning. Let's look at exactly what the examiners are testing.
The Cambridge syllabus explicitly targets 3 distinct cognitive domains, also known as your assessment objectives. First, there's knowledge and understanding. This is the absolute bedrock, knowing the fundamental difference between a network-level hardware firewall and an OS-level software firewall. Second is application, and third is analysis. Now, how do we hit all 3 of these perfectly? We use the PEEL framework: point, evidence, explanation, link. Your point shows your knowledge. Your evidence and explanation show your application to the scenario, and your link shows your deep analytical skills. Top students structure every single computer science answer using PEEL. Before we continue and look at how this transforms an answer, subscribe to our YouTube channel Ace the Exams at acetheexams_IGCJ to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon right now. Seriously, do it now, because applying this PEEL framework is what separates the elite candidates from everyone else. Your answers cannot just be a data dump of everything you've memorized. They have to sing.
Now here is a massive secret to scoring high, pulled directly from the principal examiner reports. Candidates who reference cross-topic connections achieve significantly higher marks. You simply must connect the theoretical architecture of firewalls to other areas of the IT syllabus. Think back to Alex. Alex would just write, "A hardware firewall blocks bad traffic." But a top-tier candidate, using the PEEL framework, they'll tie a hardware firewall's placement directly to network topologies, like a star or mesh network, or they'll connect software firewalls to operating system security protocols and user access rights. It's like bringing different sections of the orchestra together. When you show the examiner that you understand how firewalls integrate with the broader IT landscape, your grade potential absolutely skyrockets.
All right, let's transition into Section 2, the method mark strategy. This is where the real transformation happens. We've talked about the theory, but now we're going to look at the exact technical methodology required to extract maximum points during a high-pressure exam situation. Examiners frequently ask this question: why do students find applying concepts to unfamiliar contexts so hard? You might sit at home and know exactly how a software firewall blocks specific applications based on a whitelist. But then you sit in the exam hall, you open the paper, and you see a totally new, highly complex scenario about a multinational logistics company securing their remote workforce. And you just freeze. Your mind goes blank. Why? The answer almost always lies in the lack of a reliable step-by-step procedural framework. You panic because you're trying to improvise instead of reading the sheet music. We are going to fix that right now.
To conquer any unfamiliar scenario, you need to follow this standardized 5-step sequence. It is an absolute game changer. Step 1, deconstruct the question. What is the command word? Is it identify, describe, or evaluate? Remember Sam, who completely missed the command words? Don't be Sam. Step 2, extract the relevant data from the scenario. Look for clues like the number of users or the specific type of sensitive data being protected. Step 3, select the right analytical framework, like our trusty Peel method. Step 4, execute your analysis with clear, logical notation. And Step 5, present your final findings using the exact correct terminology. If you memorize the sequence, an unfamiliar context just becomes raw data waiting to be beautifully processed.
This sequence is the beating heart of the method mark strategy. Here's the amazing thing. Examiners want to see your systematic processing. You are actually awarded marks simply for demonstrating this correct procedure. By using proper headings, correct technical terminology, and clear annotation of your firewall setups, you're picking up points for your methodology, even if your final conclusion at the end of the paragraph isn't 100% perfect. Stop scrolling. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. We've helped thousands of students improve by 2-3 grade boundaries. Join them right now by subscribing to @acetheexams_IGCSE and turn on all notifications so you never miss our weekly exam strategy sessions. You need this method mark strategy in your toolkit, and we're here to help you master it.
Moving right along to Section 3, Top Examiner Warnings. Now that we have a solid process, we need to talk about the pitfalls. Consider this the interactive workshop phase of our explainer. I'm going to throw some challenges your way based on direct warnings gathered from principal examiner reports. Get ready to think fast.
Okay, challenge 2 of our workshop. Let's play Find the Flaw. Listen to this sample paragraph written by our friend Alex. The company should use a firewall because it removes viruses from the computer, which means the network is safe. Can you spot the sentence losing marks? I'll give you a second. Got it? Alex just committed mistake number 1, confusing cause and effect. A firewall does not remove viruses. Antivirus software does. A firewall inspects and filters traffic at the network perimeter to prevent unauthorized access or payloads from entering in the first place. You have to be incredibly precise. Mistake number 2 is forgetting format and presentation. And mistake number 3, which is a massive trap, is providing generic answers that are not specific to the context. If the exam gives you a scenario about a small medical clinic, your answer must evaluate the cost-effectiveness and strict data privacy needs of a small medical clinic, not just list generic firewall features.
The examiners also issued a massive alert regarding terminology. Candidates consistently confuse key technical terms when writing out those long, extended responses. So let's do challenge 3, speed writing. I'm putting a mental 30-second timer on the clock right now. Your challenge is to mentally write one perfect Peel paragraph defining packet filtering before you use it in an argument. Ready? Go. You want to explicitly state that packet filtering involves inspecting the header of incoming and outgoing network packets and comparing them against a set of predefined rules, like checking IP addresses or port numbers, before deciding to drop or forward them. If you define your terms first, it proves to the examiner you know your stuff right out of the gate, and it keeps your own logic crystal clear as you orchestrate the rest of your answer.
And that brings us to Section 4, Critical Evaluative Analysis. This is it. This is the grand crescendo of your exam paper. This is where you leap from a solid B to an outstanding A star. Let's see how this builds into the highest level of examination success. The higher order assessment objectives demand that you evaluate alternatives and justify recommendations. Let's jump into challenge 1 of our workshop, data scan. Imagine you're looking at a complex computer science data table showing network latency and cost across different firewall solutions. You have a 60-second visual countdown timer in your head. What's the core trend? Top-scoring candidates extract that trend and prove their evaluative thinking by hitting these exact points. They identify the limitations, like how a software firewall consumes local CPU and RAM resources. They question the assumptions made in the scenario, they consider alternative interpretations, and most importantly, they justify every single decision with concrete evidence. They don't just say, a hardware firewall is better. That's what Alex would say. Instead, they explain exactly how a hardware firewall's placement at the network perimeter protects all internal devices simultaneously, reducing the processing burden on individual workstations, using that data table as evidence. When an exam question explicitly asks you to compare approaches, like hardware versus software firewalls, you have to be incredibly deliberate. For similarities, you must use comparative connectives to link your ideas. Use phrases like similarly, likewise, or in the same vein to note that both systems rely on predetermined security rules. For differences, you must use phrases like on the other hand or whereas, and you absolutely must support your claims with specific evidence to draw conclusions on their relative importance. For example, contrasting the high initial deployment and configuration cost of a dedicated hardware firewall appliance against the ongoing individual licensing costs and management overhead of software variants deployed across hundreds of separate machines. Orchestrate the comparison.
Section Summary: The Examiner's Blueprint. We have reached the final movement. Let's recap the complete computer science answering system. There are 3 golden rules that guarantee top marks. Rule 1: Command word decoding. Always know if you are describing, explaining, or evaluating. Rule 2: Peel framework application. Point, evidence, explanation, link. It forces your answer into perfect harmony. Rule 3: Time management matrix. Don't rush like Sam, and don't overwrite like Alex. Allocate your time based on the marks available. Applying these specific methodologies directly develops your professional IT skills and pushes your mark potential all the way to 100%.
Structured evidence-based analysis is literally your best personal firewall against losing marks. Students who implement these computer science strategies see an average improvement of 2 grade boundaries, but only if they practice consistently with our weekly videos. Here's your final reminder. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Subscribe right now to at acetheexams_IGCSE and click that bell. Don't let another exam pass you by. So how will you apply this procedural framework today to maximize your grade on your very next past paper? Drop a comment below with your target grade for computer science and the biggest challenge you're facing. Our team responds to every comment. Like and share this video with a study partner. Ace the Exams. Your Cambridge success starts here. Take this blueprint, become the conductor of your own success, and I'll see you in the next one.